Welcome to a very exciting event, the launch of Alec's book, The Road to Exploitation. If you think about that title, you will have a fair idea what's going to be inside.
The information that's in this book needs to be told. It needs to be available. Many of you who are here have had farms or farming families who've lived up in the Bracewell area, and I know some who have toiled long and hard to try and have what was the facts of the impact of the mine and the drawdown on their properties recognised and in some cases compensated. I think it's important for the information, the history in this book to be told, because otherwise it's easy for governments and others to reshape history. I speak of up at Yao and Targini, where the properties were bought out at Targini, and when the minister at the time was still in Parliament, he called it an expansion of the state development area, when in fact it was the purchase of properties because they were affected by the emissions from SPP. I salute Alec and Heather, those who sponsored the book. Thank you, because it's a part of history of our region that needs to be documented or it would be lost, and it is an experience that needs to be remembered or we will never learn and grow from it.
I've had the privilege actually to know Alec and his brothers and extended family for probably about 10 years. I've always found Alec to be friendly, never afraid of the hard issues, and one of the things that I admire about him that's very important and makes Alec very easy to deal with is that he's never afraid to admit when he's wrong. So when Alec writes a book like this, you can probably take it for granted that he's put a fair bit of work and thought in it. He wouldn't be saying these things unless he knew it to be true or at least worthy of debate. You see people criticising things all the time, but you don't see people putting it together in such a logical, disciplined way. I just think that's critical. But to actually go and spend money and to get solicitors and scientists and geologists and the other people that the action group got together to actually put a case forward, that's at the very least deserves respect. It's clear that often that respect wasn't given.
I've met a lot of you people through these pages. I've felt your frustrations, your successes, your happiness and friendships. And it gives me great pleasure to officially launch this book.
Thank you, Peter, and thank you for the previous speakers for the kind words. You don't write books for kind words. You write books because you feel compelled to write books. 18 years ago, East End Mine Action Group was formed in regard to an expansion of the mine. My wife Heather had been secretary for 17 years until I think it would have been last year. And I've been research and communication officer for probably the last 10 years. 2 years ago at the annual general meeting, I warned the EMAG members that I was going to write a story about EMAG. In the 1970s, Queensland Cement and Lime, as it was then, made overtures to the Joh Bjelke-Petersen government, and they wanted to develop a limestone project at Mount Larcombe with an open cut mine. So the Bjelke-Petersen government stumped up 47.5% of the funding. They were party to the consortium. They gave them a 10-year contract for exclusive government contracts. The Mount Larcombe community formed the Mount Larcombe Mining Protest Group. And there was lots of good reasons for that. The principal among their reasons was the concerns about their underground water. And when they went to Brisbane and saw the Bjelke-Petersen government, Joh Bjelke-Petersen and Ron Cam, who was the Minister for Mines, said, look out there, we've got to have cement, and this is an essential industry, and we have no option. It's what we intend to do. So you've got to make the best of it. And it was a matter of the public good as they perceived it, overriding the private right. And the book deals with that to a great extent because there's a lot of that going on. And of course, as people that may be observing the Gladstone Harbour controversy, you know that there are studies being done, and there are more studies being done. And then there are extra studies being done, but some of these studies blow out and they take a long time. Since 1995, the East End mine has had over 40 hydrology reports. Only one for 15 years before that, 40 since then. We still have a controversy about whether Bracewell is affected by the mine. 4 internationally independent experts say that Bracewell's affected. The mine say it's not. I'm suggesting to the Gladstone people that the experiences within this book provides examples about how the system operates. The government's never going to find that the ecology has been damaged in Gladstone Harbour. They never found that the shale oil connection between the emissions and the health problems. They never found the problems at Mount Larkham with the depletion issue.